This is Hog Farmer Chris from the Hog Farmers Charitable Foundation. And before you start listening to Red Zone in the Lab, check out our Amazon Smile, a simple way to support the Hog Farmers Charitable Foundation every time you shop, and it's no cost to you.
We're back! Welcome back to Red Zone in the Lab with Deuce.
Welcome back. This is season 3 of Red Zone in the Lab podcast. We are going to be discussing entrepreneurship, education, Black history, health, movies, family, and of course, sports. Please follow, subscribe to our YouTube channel, our Twitter, and our Instagram and Facebook, and also website www.redzoneinthelab.com. Welcome back. This is Red Zone in the Lab podcast. I am Dion Deuce Blackney, and entering the lab today is my man Yujiro. He's going to give us we're going to talk about this next preseason game between the Commanders and the Chiefs. He's going to give us a little preview of what we can expect from this upcoming game. Yujiro, glad for you to be able to join us again, man. How are you? How you been?
I'm good, man. Just hanging out, excited for some Chiefs football. It's unfortunate that we ended up with some injuries, but we should be okay and getting ready for the Commanders.
Yeah, man. So let's get into you, man. So how was your summer, man? How was that dead month of July? Anything exciting on the summer?
July was, I've done a lot of things. I went to Deadwood, South Dakota, which is like a mini version of Vegas. I've been to Vegas. So it was a lot of traveling and things like that, spending time with my fiance. So it's been good. And then like this month of August, though, has been awesome with camp starting and things like that. Unfortunately, even though I live 2 hours away from Kansas City, I was not attending the camp, but, just getting inside information on, who's looking good and really observing camp.
Yeah, so let's get into Chiefs training camp. How has it been? Like any surprise, any spotlight players, any disappointments, progression? What is it looking like?
Yeah, so I remember like earlier, about a couple months ago, we did the, after the draft, some of the position battles and looking at the roster and stuff like that. It's been surprising. The young guys in the 5th and 7th rounds have actually been overachieving. So like guys like Lonnie Johnson got let go, the cornerback. He got let go because we feel comfortable with the younger corners. So a guy like Josh Williams, out of Fayetteville State.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love him.
I didn't expect him to be like an immediate impact player, but so far he's been really good. He's a big frame, a really good physical cornerback. Rashad Fenton, for a big period of camp, was hurt with a shoulder injury while he was just coming back from surgery. And, Josh Williams was getting those snaps. When Josh Williams got on the first team, he looked really good. So just like, oh, well, we got a diamond in the rough. So Josh Williams is one cornerback that we really like. So we let, Lonnie Johnson go. And then another surprising guy has been Skye Moore. Skye Moore and Justin Watson, they have looked phenomenal. You see it every day in camp. It's weird that they're not in this, like the second team. I mean, the first team, they're not in the first team, but they're in the second team, getting those second team reps. And then you see Skye Moore utilized as a running back at times or out wide in the slot. So they're just trying to get him comfortable with playing different positions in the offense so he can, eventually be a quality starter, kind of towards the end of the season.
Yeah, so go back a little bit to Joshua. Like, I really liked him coming out of Fayette, and having 3 years under his belt as a starter. I think he made first team last year. Or I forgot.
It's a smaller D2 conference.
Yeah, it is. But but Fenton, like when Fenton came out, I always thought I just think he's better in the slot. I mean, I could be wrong. You watch the team more. But I really like Joshua Williams there on the outside, man. I think y'all end up getting like two good value corners this year in the draft.
Yeah, especially with McDuffie. So, I'm excited about Josh. I don't know if you've seen the clips or anything like that, but our cornerbacks have struggled tracking the ball. They're in perfect coverage, but some odd reason they're just not being able to get their head around quicker and intercepting that ball. So hopefully that gets fixed up within the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. What about the D line? I know there's been some, maybe some concern with the D line depth, or just the D line in general.
Well, this year has been about competition, making sure that if you're making the roster spot, you earn the roster spot. So we still, like at the DT position, you still have Chris Jones. You have Turk, which is an amazing pass rusher, but he's not the best run stopper. We have a run stopper in Nadi, but we don't have another run stopper. So we went and signed Danny Shelton, a former first round pick, and he's a run stopper. So now you have a rotation of, you got your two pass rushers, and then your two run stoppers, and you can kind of rotate in between those types of D tackles. So now the D tackle, I think, is solidified, but you still want some competition on the back end. There's guys like Kalen Saunders and Star Wharf that are trying to make a roster spot. Well, they have to earn it first. So bringing in a guy like Danny Shelton can help, boost competition in the D tackle room.
When we talk about Juju, and we kind of talked about this a little bit before we started the show. For me, I'm really surprised, like just listening to you in different spaces about Juju. I'm just surprised that you guys are looking at him as a number one receiver. Am I reading that wrong?
I think there's no true number one on this offense.
Well, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
As in the receiver position, but when you mean like, okay, he's our best receiver, and we've been targeting him that much, I was a little bit shocked too, and I would say yes, absolutely. Juju has become the number one wide receiver on this team when you talk about targets and things like that. But more explosive plays, those are the MVSs, those are the Mecole Hardmans of the world, and more of the possession guys is going to be that Skye Moore, Justin Watson, and Juju. So Juju is in a role now, like kind of like a old school Jeremy Maclin, where he's just more of a possessional guy, can do multiple things, and that's how Andy Reid has been utilizing it.
Yeah, man, because I just think just from like Juju's experience, a lot of people just call him, over the middle type receiver, possession light receiver. But you all are looking at him a little more than that, like someone that can actually get down the field, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're utilizing him everywhere. If you just like took a look at our practice and compared his route tree to his last 2 years in Pittsburgh, it is okay. So Pittsburgh, he was running 0 to 7 yard routes, and they were kind of over the middle or little quick outs and things like that. Well, in this offense, he is going vertical. He's going crossers. He's doing shallow crossers, little mesh concepts. He's doing everything, which is. If you wanted to pick up a fantasy receiver, if he stays healthy, this is definitely a 1,000-yard receiver.
Pacheco, right? This guy. Now listen, I didn't really pay no attention until you start like freaking out about him and showing all some videos and some stats about him. So I kind of, started looking at him. This guy seems like, man, he's gonna hit. He looks like a steal, bro.
No, I was in the Chief group chat today, and they were talking about Pacheco because he made it on NFL Network, and I was like, Pacheco is like that one song you were listening to like 3 months before it blew up, and now everyone's talking about it. It's just like, I told you, man. I told you. No, he's phenomenal. I think the hype is a little bit overwhelming because now people are starting to catch on. But I just think he has the one cut ability, the explosiveness. That's something that Clyde Edwards-Helaire does not have. And I think those two make a good 1-2 punch. I don't think he's going to be the starter. Of course not. But we feel really comfortable with those two guys. Actually, technically 3 guys because we got Jarrett McKinnon.
I really like him. I think I like that pickup for you all, Jarrett McKinnon. So let's go back to Pacheco for a second. You didn't like your offense didn't stay out on the field too long last week, but he had 3 targets. I think that's big compared to the time that the starters were out there. Is he looking to get? Are you all looking to? Let's see how I'm gonna say this, because like you said, he is getting a whole lot of love and people is looking out for him. So is he gonna play as much as he should as a 7th rounder this game and for the preseason, or is he going to be treated like a starter?
I think he's getting treated like a superstar. If we're being honest, that's what's like really concerning because he's a 7th round pick. You seen him in offense. He was on the field, I think, 4 times. One was a carry. The other one, I think he was just pass blocking. And then he was like a quick out in the red zone, broke a tackle, set up the touchdown. I think he's being I really think he's being treated as a starter. Like he's our starter on kick return. But he's so dynamic of a player, you kind of don't want to see a lot from him because you already know what he can do. So I think, it's weird. A 7th round pick out of Rutgers is getting treated, like a star.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's definitely someone that I target and that I'm going to target in my draft. And these last few mocks, I haven't even looked for him, but I'm definitely going to start looking for him in those later rounds because I think he could have like a Kareem Hunt type ascension, you know what I mean? And someone that no one didn't even draft, and then all of a sudden, everyone wanted him after that first week on his rookie year.
Everyone is comparing him to Kareem Hunt. I see certain flashes, like he's a big back, 5'11", 220 plus pounds. I think he might be 226. He can catch, but he also runs a 4.37. And it's just, he's a good back, man. I'm actually shocked that he went in the 7th round. So yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited for this offense. I know this is kind of asking questions and trying to figure out what to expect during this preseason game. But I watched the interview today with Andy Reid, and he said that he plans on playing the starters a bit this first half. So maybe you see a little bit more Pacheco, maybe 7 targets out of him just to see where he's at in this offense.
Red Zone in the lab. Be right back.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Just coming to you all. Just wanted to share these amazing, amazing Tava products with you all that has helped me drop 60 pounds over a year and a half. So look, I'm going to start out with our flagship product, which is our Preseason Detox Tea. When I tell you it's amazing, it's going to clean out your upper and your lower intestines. And also, Preseason stands for empty in Spanish. That's the first part. Now we have Violate 30, which is vitamin and liquid energy for 30 days. Now, once you detox, it's going to take out good and the bad. So this right here is going to put everything good back in your body, all the nutrients you need. Now, this here is a flare. The flare will definitely get you there. It has no caffeines, no sugars. You will not have jitters. It's all natural, and it gives you great energy. Last but not least, we have our CBD infused coffee, Caprice, Colombian blend. It helps keep you calm. Does not have any caffeines or sugars. It's all natural. Chaga mushrooms and Garcinia gambodia, which is good for memory. So if you want to try any of these amazing products, all you have to do is reach out to me. You can reach me on Facebook at Van Thomas or Instagram at Van_the Detox Man. If you want to reach out, just hit me. I'll gladly get back to you. Peace.
Welcome back to Red Zone in the Lab with Deuce.
What about Skylar Moore? Where is he on the depth chart? And is he someone that's going to get some first team reps Saturday?
Yeah, absolutely. So he is actually our fourth receiver on a depth chart, and Justin Watson is our fifth. Skye will be getting first team snaps just because you have Miko Hartman with a minor groin injury. He said it was like a sprained groin. I didn't know that you can do that, but you have Miko out, and then Juju will not play. Juju will not play this game because he's resting a sore knee. So you have those two guys. So I would expect to see a lot of Justin Watson and a lot of Skye Moore. The reason why I keep mentioning Justin Watson with Skye Moore is because those two guys are really, really talented, and they could be immediate impact starters on our team.
Orlando Brown, where are we with him and his relation? I know he's there for Mahomes, but where are we with his relationship? Is he going to start the season? Is he good to go?
Okay. He's good to go. He signed his franchise tag. He's playing under the tag. In his interview and his press conference, he said that it really wasn't necessarily about the money. It was just securing, the guarantees for the long term of his contract.
Yeah, definitely.
He plans on, playing for the Kansas City Chiefs for a long period of time. He actually wanted to, sign here as well. And, sometimes in these interviews, they, just show face and say what they need to say. But, Pat and OBJ have a good relationship with each other. So I think he's going to be our left tackle for years to come.
Yeah, that'll be good, man. Because I just still think about that Super Bowl, man, and lineman. I mean,
yeah.
And then Mahomes, he was still working it. They just couldn't hold on to the ball, man.
Yeah, couldn't catch.
Yeah, that was wild to me. Speaking of receivers, are you all trying to replace Tyreek Hill's production, or you just like moved on? This is just who we are.
Yeah, so I don't know if you got a chance to watch the preseason game, and you don't have to read into this a little bit too much. Take it with a grain of salt. It is preseason. They were in 12 personnel. In 12 personnel, a traditional X and a Z. X and a Y. And then they had, the ball rolling, man. They were in I form. they were in single back with three tight ends.
That's so anti-read, man.
Yeah. Because we have and I think Andy understands this too. You have to run the ball, but you also have a bunch of receivers that can do multiple types of things. Like, for example, the guy DeMarcus Robinson, he couldn't even make the Raiders team, and he was on our team last year. So we got rid of them. Byron Pringle is no longer here, and obviously Hill is no longer here. But now we have a group of guys that can, we got possession receivers, we have route runners, we got guys that can get vertical. We got those, gadget guys as well. So I don't think it's necessarily, taking over Tyreek Hill's role and his production. It's a numbers game, and it's just going to be spread out between a bunch of guys. So it should be fun. It should be fun.
Cool, man. So you mentioned that Andy Reid kind of said that the starters was going to play at least the first half, a whole half. What can we look for as far as the defense and like Chris Jones? Is these guys really gonna play the whole half? Or?
Yeah, I don't know why Andy said a whole half. I think it might be like the first, because last game it was the first drive they scored, and then the second team came out. I think they only had 2 or 3 drives, so I expect it to be like offense is probably a drive or 2, and defense maybe 3 or more drives. I don't anticipate them playing the first half, but defensively, expect Chris Jones to be. Oh no, I'm not sure if Chris Jones is actually going to play because he had his back flared up yesterday.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, keep him out.
Yeah, I think he's a no-go. But Turk is going to be able to play. And I mean, when you talk about a pass rush and DT, I share a lot of things on my Twitter account. When Chase Young was the rookie of the year, another guy that had the same amount of pressures as him was Turk, Tashawn Wharton. He's our pass rush and D tackle. He is extremely good. Against the Steelers last year, I think he might have had like 15 pressures, a 90 grade for even though it's PFF, it still was a 90 grade of PFF. He's a really good quality pass rusher. He's been consistently in pressures. He's a top 10 defensive tackle when it comes to pass rush win rate and also pressures.
How's Josh Gordon looking in camp?
Whew. He's cooked. He's off the team, man.
He's done.
It's not looking good for him. And you know what? I'll be honest, man. He looked good. It's just that the team he's gonna play somewhere else. I'll be shocked if he makes this team. He's like the odd man out because he doesn't play special teams. He's looked good. It's just, this team is really competitive. And I don't think they gave him a fair opportunity. You didn't see Josh Gordon in this camp working with the ones. He's been working with the 2s, 3s. He hasn't been working with the ones. And they feel as if he doesn't get 1 snaps. That the same situation happened with Lonnie Johnson. Lonnie Johnson did not practice at all with the ones, and he didn't even make our 80-man roster. He got cut for the first 85. So I hope Josh Gordon finds a way to make this team or something, because he's been doing so well. He's off the drugs and off the weed. But man, I just think he's going to be ended up somewhere else.
Yeah, man, I love him. Man, he just seemed like he was going to be that next guy. He really did, man. Okay, so Kelsey, I mean, he's 32, he's getting up there. Has he, or you think he's gonna lose a step anytime soon? And what else, and how else does the rest of the tight end room look?
Yeah, the tight end room. Remember when we were doing those position grades, man, I was fired up about this tight end room.
Yeah,
I still am. Kelsey, I don't think he's going to lose a step with the tight end position. I mean, you've seen Gronk and Kelsey were the same age, but you've seen guys be able to play tight end for a long time, mainly because it's not necessarily like the top end speed, but the short area quickness. Yeah. And Kelsey's a route runner. He'll be able to play. I think realistically, he has 2 great years in him, and then the fall off is coming. He's going to retire a Chief, but, I think that day is coming pretty soon within like the next, 3-4 years from now. But talking about the tight end room, man, Jordy Fordson is phenomenal. I've been hyping this kid up. He did get hurt like the 7th day of camp with I think it might have been like a quad contusion or something like that. And he was able to come back. He's looked really good. He's just, man, he's a weapon, man. He used to be a receiver, transitions to tight end. And dude's like 6'5". I think he's 6'6", 200 plus pounds. And he's just a freak of nature, man. Like this kid can ball. He's going to be a red zone target. Blake Bell is another guy that if you saw the last preseason game, he's our screen guy and also our QB power guy. So like our short yardage or red zone guy. Like that's Blake Bell is if we need a yard, he gonna get it. So I like him, and he's one of the best blockers on our team as well. And then we got Noah Gray. Noah Gray has looked phenomenal. We kind of drafted him to replace Kelsey, kind of groom him into becoming that Kelsey. And he showed flashes of it this camp. Like he's had a phenomenal camp. Pat Mahomes in today's interview press conference, he talked about some of the guys that impressed him in camp. And I think it might have been the first name that he mentioned was Chris Jones. And then the second was Noah Gray. So, Noah can come in here and eventually be something. He was I think a second round pick, might have been a year ago. So I'm excited about Noah.
Yeah, man, I'm just interested to see how those guys look. So anything that you're expecting, how this preseason game is going to go Saturday?
Yeah, I think this will be a real test for our secondary because you guys have good speed, actually elite speed with Jahan and Scary Terry. And obviously Curtis Samuels as well. I don't know who's all playing, but if they do play, I would like to see the cornerback receiver matchup, see how Trent does, see how Josh Williams does, obviously Snead. So I really want to see if they can play against faster guys because, in camp, Juju is not really the fastest and they've been doing well with Juju. So I'm looking for that. I'm looking at I'm looking at the offense, not necessarily the players, but the formations. The formations will kind of like dictate what the Chiefs want to do. Am I going to see 12 personnel again, or am I going to look at more spread concepts? So looking at the formations, and then obviously I really want to see what that secondary is going to look like. But other than that, hopefully everyone gets safe, no injuries, and they walk out healthy. But that's the main thing I want to look at, the cornerback room.
Cool, man. Yeah, man. Usually I appreciate you taking some time to come on and give us a little glimpse into what's going on over there in Kansas City. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man. It's and thank you for having me. Always, a pleasure to talk Chiefs football, and especially on your platform as well. So I just want to say thank you for having me and definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Let us know what you got coming up, man, because I know this Chief Kingdom thing is kind of taking off, right?
Yeah. So if you can follow me on Twitter, basically it is Alex Smith, Alex_Smith 11. But the A and Alex and the S and Smith are flipped. So it's super simple. But you can follow me on Twitter if you want to learn more about the Chiefs. We post daily content. There's a bunch of content creators that are in my group chat, but also we host Chief Spaces as well. So we just, try to build a community through there. I've been pretty busy with my regular day life, but hopefully you see some content within the next couple of weeks.
Yes, UG, please. We need that. We need that from you, man. You are extremely talented, man. And I appreciate all your takes and your wisdom. So we need that content out here, man. You got to sacrifice. You got to sacrifice some time, some sleep or something, bro.
Yeah, I definitely got to. I'm on it. But if you want, you could just make sure to plug my my Twitter. And hopefully, if anyone is interested in Chiefs football, make sure to follow me. And there's always some Chiefs content. And shout out to Nicole Hardman, man. Nicole Hardman follows me on Twitter. Let's go.
Yeah, man. That's what it's all about, to get those guys, the followers, man. But there you have it, man. Thank you all out there for listening. Again, thank you, G. This is Red Zone and Lab Podcast. I am Dion Deuce Blackney. One beat, one sound, one heart, one love.
Thank you for listening to Red Zone in the Lab podcast. Please follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Red Zone in the Lab. And you can download our podcast at Spotify, iTunes, and Podbean. And please visit our website at redzoneinthelab.com. Thank you.